Trotsky's friends were my life. From the days of my childhood I had many conflicts in life, which sprang from the Jewish would say out of the struggle against injustice. As a child of a Jewish family, Trotsky was subjected to much injustice, such as losing his Jewish school due to a Jewish quota of no more than 10%. The injustice Trotsky faced, coupled with his growing exposure to radical politics, which he was introduced to in 1888, and sent to live with Spencer, Emmett Spencer, who was involved in underground opposition to the Tsar, would set the path for his political ideas. As early as primary school days, evidence Trotsky was involved in several minor rebellions against teachers. One could say his childhood reflected on a small scale the direction and impact of his life. At university, Trotsky joined an underground discussion group of Narodniks. He dropped out of uni after 1 year to help start the Southern Russian Workers' Union. He was arrested and while in jail became a Marxist. In 1905, he was elected as deputy chairman of the newly formed St. Petersburg Soviet, played a major hand in the decision. From Trotsky accounts, I must say that of all the social democratic leaders of 1905 to 06, Trotsky was undoubtedly shown himself, despite his youth, to be the best prepared. It wasn't to say the Trotsky emotional revolution having required a great degree of popularity. Trotsky stood in the very front rank. One of Trotsky's greatest contributions to Russian history was his involvement in the events leading up to and during the October Revolution of 1917. Allen would argue, while Lenin was in hiding, the leading role in the unfolding revolutionary process was played by Lev Trotsky. E.N.D. Thatcher also emphasized the role of Trotsky in Lenin's absence, stating, "With Lenin still in hiding, Trotsky was to all appearances the unofficial head or at least chief spokesman of Bolshevism, and that the task of being the public face of Bolshevism fell to Trotsky." Michael Lynch explains that while Lenin who was undoubtedly the greatest influence behind the October uprising, it was Trotsky who actually organized it. Trotsky's emerging political role and rise to prominence through, as previously mentioned, his role in the 1905 revolution coincided with what Isaac Schuster accounts as a parallel movement towards Bolshevism in the municipal elections and even a stronger influence in the army and navy. This led to him being elected president, and Delvaluma points out made him in that capacity head of the organization of the insurrection of 1917. Isaac Schuster accounts the impact Trotsky's leadership had upon the Soviet, accounting that everything changed in the Soviet. He goes on to say that in contrast to the disheartened assembly of the July States, this was now once again a revolutionary army. Isaac Schuster accounts Trotsky's implementation of 1917 insurrections. This was now Trotsky's guard, ready at a wink from him to storm the coalition, the Winter Palace, and the fortresses of Borodzy. On behalf of the new Soviet, he sounded the first songs of the Second Revolution, calling for Kerensky's resignation and transfer of governmental power to the Congress of Soviets. Trotsky ingeniously strategically organized the takeover of the provisional government, essentially bloodless. Trotsky himself states that weapons proved critical mostly as an external sign of power. According to E.N.D. Thatcher, the takeover started with the gradual build-up of Soviet authority over key elements in city defenses. When Kerensky desperately tried to regain control on October 24th, he was defeated by the very networks Trotsky had implemented at CSNR, and the MRC began to capture control of Petrograd, main centers of communication. Finally, the provisional government was arrested in the Winter Palace. On the 25th of October, Trotsky announced in the opening session of the Second Congress of the Soviet the takeover of provisional government. Moderate socialists, fearful of the actions taken by the Bolsheviks, walked out. The immediate impact of the walkout was that the Bolsheviks had an absolute majority in the Congress of Soviets. As the delegates departed, Trotsky consigned them to dustbin of history, a phrase that E.N.D. Thatcher claims is more memorable in the context of Russian Revolution as Neil Armstrong's "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," in the first line in the mood. The insurrection of 1917 is significantly linked to Trotsky himself. Trotsky's life was devoted to the Russian Revolution and application of his ideas and theories, and to some extent it could be said the 1917 revolution was the pinnacle of this, and the pinnacle in Trotsky's life, something that his prior life had worked up to and his afterlife was determined by and devoted to protecting. The insurrection was the first step in the formation of the communist states. Congress approved the formation of the workers' and peasantry government to be called the Council of the People's Commissar and to rule to the convocation of the Constituent Assembly that was abolished.